Hi friends, welcome to the Unit 4B Day 1. Unit 4B is about the relationships within triangles, and we start with this first section talking about midsegment. I had an error where the first recording was frozen halfway through, so I already have some stuff written down. I'll just go over it. So we have a midsegment of a triangle is a segment that connects the midpoints of two sides of a triangle. And I went ahead and measured out the midpoints on these segments of this triangle here. And what we're going to do is we're going to now connect them. If you need to pause the video so you can write that down, please do so. So if I connect these midpoints here, then I make a midsegment. So the midpoints are in black here. Those are the midpoints. And then the midsegments are what I'm drawing here in blue. And it makes this kind of triangle shape within a triangle. So you end up with four kind of triangles inside, smaller triangles. So you have that sort of shape. And every triangle has three midsegments. So the midsegments of the blue part. Those of you who are big into Zelda, this is like the Triforce, if you're into that sort of thing. So this is our midsegment. The blue part here. To make the midsegment, you need midpoints. So to show midpoints, I'm just going to show that this part, each of these here, are congruent. So that shows that it's the midsegment, and those midpoints are connected. So we have a theorem that we can do with these triangle midsegments. So a midsegment of a triangle is parallel to a side of the triangle, and its length is exactly half the length of that side. So here I went ahead and already marked out midpoint D and midpoint E. So if I connect them using my straight edge here, so here I went ahead and connected them. So I know that line segment DE, so segment DE is parallel to segment AC. So this segment here is parallel to this. And I also know that the length of DE is going to be equal to 1/2 the length of AC. Also, another way of writing that is that AC, the length of AC, is equal to 2 times the length of DE. These two are the exact same thing, they're just written in a different way. One's approaching it from the one that's smaller, talking about the smaller one, and the other one's approaching it from the bigger side. Sorry for the jump in recording. So this is the smaller one, approaching it from the smaller side. It's half of the longer length, and the longer length is twice the length of the shorter one. So in this bottom part, I'm saying that segment DE is a midsegment of the triangle, and I want to find the value of x. So if I know that DE is a midsegment here, then I know that it's half the length of this here. So I know that the length of AB is equal to twice the length of DE. So I'm trying to find the length of AB. So now I substitute in what I know. I know that AB is x, so I'm going to say x is equal to, and then 2 is just 2, and the length of DE is 7. So this is 2 times 7, so x is going to be 2 times 7, which is 14. So we know that. The next one is a little bit trickier because you're not using what we just set up above, but you're using previous knowledge. If you know that DE is the midsegment, BC is the one that's twice as long. To get to DE being a midsegment, we need to know that the length of AE and the length of E to C have to be congruent. They have to be the same. They have to be the same length. So these segments must be congruent. So that means I know that the segment AE has to be equal to the segment EC, because it's the midpoint. E is the midpoint. That means that x has to equal 8. And then now for number 3, I know that DE is the midsegment, segment length. So this x is going to be, let's go one step back. DE is my big segment, and I know that it's half the length of AC, and I know that DE is X. Give me some space to work here. DE is X, and I know that it's half the length of 34. So then I can just do, in this case, I could just do 34 divided by 2, or 1/2 times 34, and that gives me 17. So that's the front. This back one, we've got this little triangle shape, and it wants us to complete the statements. When you're given this information and it gives you a diagram, what you want to do is see if all of this that they give you in the prompt is on the diagram. If it's not on the diagram, let's go ahead and add it in. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in all of these other parts or components that it says. So for this one, segment JR is congruent to RK. That means that this is the same length as this. Segment KS is the same as SL. So I know that those two are congruent. And then JT, segment JT is congruent to segment TL. That means that all of these in here are actually mid-segments, and they correspond with the certain parts that are then parallel to the line segment that's kind of associated with that. So let's look. Here RS, so that's this one right here. This one's parallel to, well, this one is parallel to this bottom one down here, JL. So J, segment JL. And then ST is going to be parallel with JK. Not even joking. And then KL here is parallel to segment RT. And then now it wants us to find the relationship. So we know that RT, this is the one that's smaller of the two, so we know that segment RT is going to be 1/2 the length of KL. And then ST is going to be 1/2 the length of JK. Not even joking. And then RS is going to be 1/2 the length of JL. Notice that I did not use the bar symbol above these, and that is because these are lengths. So we get actual numbers or measurements, where here we're talking about the actual shape of the segment itself. So these last three all go over different applications of what we just talked about. We have D, E, and F are midpoints of the sides. So on all of these triangles, DE and EF and DF are all mid-segments. Knowing that, we know that this, for example, this part DE, so that's here, DE is the smaller of the two, and GJ here is the longer of the two. So I know that twice the length of DE, so 2 times the length of DE, is going to be equal to the length of G to J. G to J. So now what I can do is go ahead and plug in, substitute what I know. So 2 times, always use parentheses whenever you're substituting something, and always use parentheses. So 2 times the 4x plus 5 is equal to the 3x plus 25. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute. So I have 8x plus 10 is equal to 3x plus 25. So minus 3x on both sides gives me 5x plus 10 is 25 minus 10. And I'm going to have 5x equals 15. Divide by 5 and you get x equals 3. A lot of students think they're done. Make sure you answer the question that it asked. It wanted to know what is the length of DE. Well, I know that DE is 4x plus 5. DE is 4x plus 5. I know that x is 3, so now I can actually substitute in, let's see, 4 times 3 plus 5. That's going to be 12 plus 5. So I know that DE is 17. So the length of DE is 17. With that, go ahead and try the next two similarly. Not exactly the same, but they're similar. See what you get. Pause the video. I'm going to go over them, but it just gives you a chance to try it on your own first. All right. EF is here, and GH is here. So that means 2 times EF is equal to GH. Now I can substitute in what I know. So 2 times 2x plus 7 is equal to 5x minus 1. Distribute. And I get 4x plus 14 is equal to 5x minus 1. I always subtract off the smaller of the two coefficients. That way I'm only working with positive numbers. So I have 15 equals x. So I know that let's know what EF is. EF is 2x plus 7. So that means 2 times 15 plus 7. So that gives me 30 plus 7. So EF is 37. Now the last one. HJ is this longer one. DF is the shorter one. So again, I'm still going to do HJ is equal to 2 times my DF. Just going to notate it that way instead. And that's okay. You can do that. So I have 8x minus 2 is equal to 2 times 2x plus 11. Again, making sure that's in parentheses. Distribute the 2. So I have 8x minus 2 equals 4x plus 22. Minus 4x on both sides. So you have 4x minus 2 equals 22. Add 2, add 2. Get 4x equals 24. Divide by 4. You get x equals 6. So HJ is 8x minus 2, substituting in the 6 for the x, gives us 8 times 6. So I'm going to have, let's see, 48 minus 2, HJ equals 46. So that is the end of day 1 notes. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, friends.